Just when you thought it was safe to go back to listening to podcasts, you got this instead. Mike Dell's World.
And good morning. I'm not going to do the good morning, good evening, good afternoon stuff. I am recording this in the morning for release this afternoon. It is December 9th, 2017, and on my March to 300, which will happen on New Year's Day. I will record a special episode on New Year's Day for the 300th Mike Dell's World. And I was going through some old stuff in my hard drive here, and I found a bunch of little voiceovers that Jim Farley did. So that's who gave me that thing at the beginning there. That's Jim Farley from Musical World and formerly my partner on What's Up With That podcast. And by the way, we should probably get together and do one of those, hopefully somewhat soon. Who knows? So, Jim, if you're listening, get hold of me. And we'll maybe get together and do a What's Up With That version of Mike Dell's World. Still have the theme song here somewhere. And if not, I think Jim probably does because he wrote it. But, yeah, just to give you a quick update here before we get into the meat of the episode. It's about 27 degrees here in beautiful downtown Traverse City along the shores of Lake Michigan. And we got about 3 inches of snow on the ground or something like that. It's been, kind of on and off lake effect snow, but nothing super heavy or anything like that. Just normal stuff. Had a warmer than usual fall, but we're catching up now, so very good. Got a lot of Christmas-related things going on this month, obviously. Today is my dad's side of the family, extended family Christmas, just to, since most of the older members of the family head south to Florida very soon here, so usually right after Christmas, so we try to get it done a little early in the month. So December 9th, it's not so bad. By the way, this is episode 293. Did I say that? As I said last episode, I'm kind of looking forward to the winter slowdown. It's just too busy. And, of course, the holiday season just sort of amplifies that. But once we get, past Christmas and New Year's isn't so bad. Usually, Kathy and I kind of do it low key normally, so we'll see. But, it'd be nice to get into relax mode. So anyway, I've got a little political thing I'm gonna talk about here after this.
I walked through the damp, foggy streets, my mind swirling. So much content, so many podcasts. How do I find the best? Then it hit me like a big blue neon sign flashing through the mist. Blueberry. All I had to do was drop the E's and go to blueberry.com. Blueberry, the digital media interface for consumers, creators, and advertisers.
I'm going to get just a little bit political here. Not too bad, like I said, I've done it before. Do it again. I just noticed that, the news media, all the talking heads on TV and on radio and sometimes on podcasts are just so biased. And I know that's a cliche, it's lefty bias of the media. Yeah, we know that. But, there was 260 something thousand jobs created in, the month of November, I think, or maybe it was October. I forget. I don't know all the details because it's not widely reported. And you would think that regardless of who's the president, that would be widely reported, that the unemployment rate's going down. So many more Americans are working that want to work. There's another problem there, but, who cares who's the president? I always talk about to people, to other people, I tell them, if you're so worried about who's president, if that really affects your life, you're doing it wrong. Seriously. I mean, I wasn't a fan of Bill Clinton. I wasn't a fan of Barack Obama. Obviously I am a little more conservative than I am liberal, but I'm more of a libertarian. So, as far as all the social stuff, I don't care. Marry a fence post if you want. It's not my job. But, all that stuff, the Democrats like to, say is, good thing, gay marriage, all that stuff. Fine, great, awesome. I don't want to pay for it. That's all. You're free to do whatever you want to do as long as it doesn't affect what I do. So if Hillary Clinton would have won the election, yeah, I probably would have been a little more disappointed than I am with Trump, but it really doesn't make that much difference to me. They don't have a great effect on my life. They really don't. The whole healthcare thing under Obama, that sort of has affected my life because the quote-unquote Affordable Care Act has made healthcare rather unaffordable. But that's, I don't know if that was on purpose or, if it was something they just didn't figure would happen, and hopefully somebody somehow will fix that. That'd be great. This is all just in the U.S., so if you're in Canada or elsewhere, probably not that interesting to you. But, the president really doesn't have a huge effect on my life. Yeah, it can, I guess, but for the most part, most of them don't get what they want to do done. Hillary could have said, I want to do X, Y, and Z, and, are they going to get it done? Maybe not. Trump said he wanted to get all this stuff done. He still hasn't repealed the health care law. He's sort of picking at it, but, they don't just get to go in there and decree what they want. And, they also don't have that big of an effect on the economy. Now, the economy is booming right now. Maybe it's a coincidence. But you don't hear a lot about that. You hear all about, the Russians. It's like, come on. If you dig really deep, the Russians were involved with the Democrats and the Republicans. And, it just is what it is. Who cares? Move on. I mean, they're just trying to find every little thing. And like I said, I'm no super fan of Donald Trump, but I am definitely not a hater. It's like you turn on the TV on, most of the networks, and it's all hate Trump, hate Trump, hate Trump, hate Trump, and that's all they can do. And they've been doing it now for over a year. I'm like, really? You're going to spend the next 3 doing this? How is that productive? If you don't agree with Donald Trump and what he does, then work harder to get a candidate that people don't hate. That's the problem. That was the problem with Hillary. Nobody likes her. Even people that work for her really don't like her. And unfortunately, the presidency is sort of a popularity thing. So they like Donald Trump just slightly better than they did Hillary Clinton. And before you say the popular vote went the other way, yeah, whatever. That's not how the system works. Okay? It's just not. Each state gets to elect its electors, and Donald Trump was successful in winning more states. Doesn't mean he won more people, but that's the way it should be. Because if it was just a popular vote, then whoever California wanted would be president. That's not right. So, it's more representative the way it is. And it's gone both ways. So, and I'm not, like I said, not a Republican, not a Democrat. If I had my druthers, we would have had Gary in there, the Libertarian candidate. I can't think of his last name right off the top of my head. That's the problem with the Libertarians. They don't get their name out there very well. But, it's just, I've got some coworkers that are, actually just one, that very worried all the time about, Donald Trump being president. And they just constantly, that's what their worry is. And I'm like, you're just going to drive yourself insane if you sit there and worry about who the president is. Okay? Unless you're in the military or whatever, the president doesn't have any real direct effect on your life, and if he does, you are doing it wrong. Sorry. Anyway, that was kind of a rambling thing, but, it just amazes me that, the press can spend so much time digging up all the negative they can about Donald Trump, and nothing positive gets on the news. They did it the same thing when George W. Bush was in office. For 8 years, there was no positive anything on the news about anything to do with George W. Bush or the economy. Of course, there wasn't a lot of positive going on then. But just, I don't know. Just makes me scratch my head that really, what is the goal? Because as soon as they succeeded in getting Donald Trump out of there, then Mike Pence would be president. And guess what? They'd be all over him. And, what's the point? Really, what is the point? Just report what happened. Don't report your opinion of what happened. That's not what the news is for. Then this whole sexual harassment thing, I think it's, you look at, who is it? The comedian guy, I'm just drawing blank on names today, but he just said he was going to resign from the Senate from Minnesota there. Al Franken, there you go. And, yeah, all the stuff that he did as a comedian, I don't know the whole extent of it, but, pretending like he was fondling some girl's breasts, that's what comedians do. And, I don't think he was malicious, and he's a Democrat. So, you can say what you want, about that. But, I don't think all this sexual harassment stuff is quite as bad, at least in his case, as it sounds. Now, yeah, that is a problem. And I'm glad, that somebody's finally coming forward and, talking about it. And that's all great and fine. But now it's just getting to the point where all it is somebody has to come up and accuse you of something, and then boom, you're guilty. Boom, And that's what they're saying, with the Roy Moore, I think is his name, down in Alabama, making a big ass deal about that. And he's, even one of his accusers has admitted that she faked signing the yearbook from him. She forged that. Make it sound like he did something to her. And all they're doing is trying to accuse him. Now, I don't know if he did anything or not. And if he did, he's kind of an ass. But, just the accusation can screw you up. Matt Lauer from NBC. I have no idea what he did. I have no idea, if it's all credible or not. But if it is, well, good. They got rid of him. That's great. Charlie Rose, that whole Weinstein thing, I get it. But, just to accuse somebody, is tantamount to being guilty of it. Somebody could accuse me of something, now, no credible evidence, I guarantee, but I'm just saying, all they have to do is accuse you of it, and you're screwed. I just don't think that's right. For Al Franken, I don't know what he did other than, the couple of pictures I saw, and those were just, a comedian doing funny stuff. I don't think that's so bad. And just asking a girl out for a date, I'm sorry, that's not sexual harassment. Okay, now if you're her boss or something, that's not right. But, for, whatever. It's just, I think maybe we're going just a slight bit too far. But then, I don't know. I just think there must have been more to the Al Franken thing because, I can't imagine giving up a Senate seat for something you did before you were a senator and not while you were in charge of anything. And, you're a comedian. Comedians do funny shit. Sorry. Anyway, enough of that. I will catch you next time here on Mike Dell's World.